Hey guys, how's everybody doing? It's been a rough week, so I wanted to jump on and talk about it with everybody and see how we're doing. Obviously, we lost Twitch, and it was a shock to me and to everybody. And like when we lose somebody like that, we're all surprised, and we can't believe it. And the first thing we say is, "Did anybody see it coming?" And the answer is no. We never see it coming because they didn't want to be here anymore. And that's the thing about suicide, right? When folks are that sad for that long on the inside, they just want it to end and they don't want anybody to stop them. And that's what happened with Twitch. As a psychiatrist, I can tell you the patient who is sad and depressed and looks sad and depressed and tells me that they're thinking about suicide, I know they're gonna be fine because they're talking about it and they don't wanna die and they wanna just feel better. So we can work on that. The patient who's sad and depressed, who looks sad and depressed, but tells me they don't know if they're suicidal or not, again, I know they're gonna be fine because they're talking about it and I know they just wanna feel better. But the person like Twitch, who's sad and depressed but doesn't look sad and depressed and says nothing about it, right? That's the one you have to worry about, right? Because that's the person who's really suffering on the inside, right? Sad plus depressed plus hope, it makes you miserable, right? And more days of the week than not, you're just miserable, but you feel like it could end if you could just find the answer, right? You go to bed wondering if tomorrow's gonna be better, and there's a little bit of hope that it actually might, so, right? So you can kind of get through it, but sad and depressed with no hope, and it feels like you're suffering, and you feel like it's never gonna end. And you start to take it personal because you feel like it's not fair. And you feel like it's only you going through it. And you feel like there's no way out and nobody else cares. And the only way to make it stop is to not be here, right? And that's where Twitch was. And it snuck up on us because he didn't look sad. He didn't look depressed, right? He had an easy smile, always had a kind word from what I understand, trying to help folks feel better, literally trying to help us dance our way through life, right? And so on the outside, that's what we saw, but we don't know what was going on the inside, right? On the outside, he had a beautiful, loving family, but on the inside, right? How did he really feel about himself? So we don't know those things, and we can't know those things. I'll tell you, as a psychiatrist, and for most of the coaches who we see online and in life, the thing we teach the most, the thing we try to give the most, is usually the thing we struggle with the most, right? So I talk about relationships a lot because I have struggled with relationships a lot, right? Coaches who talk about money, right? You best believe there was a time in their life where they seriously struggled with money, right? For every coach on Instagram and TikTok who's teaching you about narcissists, you can sure as shit believe they have dated more than their fair share of narcissists in their time, and they have struggled with it, right? The thing we try to give the most, the thing we try to teach the most, is the area where we usually struggle with the most. And so what did Twitch try to teach us, right? He always had an easy smile, he always had a kind word. He always trying to teach us about joy, right? Because that tells me, yeah, that's probably the thing he struggled with the most. And now we know that's true, right? And joy is hard because it's hard for us to sustain that. Matter of fact, joy is the single hardest emotion it is for us to sustain because most of us don't feel like we deserve it all the time, right? So it's tough. And it's especially tough this time of year, right? Losing him at this type of year because it's the holidays and what it's supposed to mean. It's supposed to be joyful, but it's also the time of year we take inventory, right? And the way most of our bank accounts work is the same most of our minds work, which is we never take inventory of the stuff that goes good when things are bountiful and plentiful, but we always take inventory of the things that we don't have, right? So at the end of the year, this time, we always take inventory of the things we lost, right? The things that didn't go well, right? The things we didn't get. And it's a sad time of year. So if you're gonna check on somebody this time of year, this is the time of year to do it. And check on the people who lost something in your life, right? So if you've got somebody who lost a job, lost some money, lost a parent, lost a partner. Yes, boyfriends and girlfriends do count as partners, right? Check on them, right? Because when we lose something, there's three words that come to mind: loss, less, and never. We had this thing and then we lost it. And now I feel like I'm somehow less than the person I used to be, right? I feel less of a person and less whole today than I was yesterday because of this person I lost, or this thing I lost, or this identity I lost. And I feel like I'll never be that person again, right? That's what makes it so hard. So check on some people who lost anything. Check on your folks who are isolated, right? Who don't come out much and don't talk much and don't share much, right? And see, really check in and see how they're doing, and create a bubble, create a safe space for them to actually tell you an honest answer. You don't have to have a fix for it, right? You don't have to make them feel better. Sometimes it's just about being able to get the thing off your chest. That's enough, right? So check on your folks who've lost something. Check on your folks who are isolated and always quiet. And for God's sakes, check on your folks in your life who are always looking happy, right? Always got an easy smile, quick joke, kind word, right? Because they struggle too. But they also don't want to help you feel bad by telling you about their struggle, right? And then maybe they can help you feel better than maybe they think, well, maybe it's possible for me to get there too, right? So it's a tough time of year for a lot of different reasons. And I think this really drove the point home for a lot of us, because we look at somebody like Twitch with the big life and the big smile, right, and the big energy, and we're like, man, if he couldn't do it, then what the hope do I have, right? But you got hope, right? Because you got people in your life who care about you, and you got people in your life who know you matter, right? Whether you do or not. So you always got to remember that you're just not alone. And if you're feeling alone, right, then you got to pick up the phone and you got to call somebody. And if you don't have anybody to call, you can dial 988, right? That's a suicide hotline. You can dial 911 and they'll get you to somebody who can help you, right? But that's critical. And it's in those split few seconds, right? That moment of courage where you're like, this doesn't feel good and I'm getting a little scared, right? You've got to reach out, because the thing that folks who are suicidal don't believe is that they have anybody around who really cares, or anybody who's going to miss them when they're gone. So for all the outpouring of love we've gotten for Twitch this week, right? I wish he could have been here to see it, to know that we all cared, right? And to know how much he mattered to all of us. So check on your people, guys. I wish you all happy holidays, and I'll definitely check back in before we get to the new year. All right, see y'all next time. Bye.